When wives ask me, how do I stop bringing in 2025's resentment into the year 2026? And I think back to a moment in my own marriage that showed me exactly how resentment sneaks into the present moment if we don't consciously interrupt it. I remember a time where I was on my way home from work, and as I drove into my neighborhood, this negative thought just popped into my head about my husband. And that thought, it possessed me. It just took over. I collapsed into it. You know what I mean? So by the time I got home, I was fuming. And my dear hubby came out of the garage, smiling ear to ear, ready to greet me. And only I just blew right past him, and I mumbled something sarcastic, under my breath, and I barreled into the home and slammed my door. And wait, it gets worse. My beautiful 4-year-old daughter witnessed the entire exchange. Yeah, I'm not proud of that. And my husband was scratching his head whoa, what happened to her? And it was in that moment that I realized I brought the past into my present, and I created a rupture for the whole family. And the resentment, it feels like a bubbling volcano. It started in my jaw, and then it kind of just blew fire up my head, and that's when I knew I reached my limit. And the aftermath is shame. My innocent daughter was like, Mommy, what happened? Of course I couldn't answer her because nothing had happened. It was all in my head. And it was a wound that I hadn't tended to, and the collateral damage, that's real, ladies. So later that year, my daughter is still 4 years old, and she begged me, Mommy, please make the arguing stop. And that is when Stop, Drop, and Roll Baby was born. Stop, drop, and roll works even when nothing is happening on the outside and everything is happening on the inside. So how do you stop dragging 2025's resentment into 2026? By doing exactly what I finally learned to do, to interrupt that old thought before it becomes a new explosion. So you stop when you notice it, and you drop into the present moment. And you roll back into self-love and self-care. And this is how resentment dissolves, one stop, drop, and roll at a time. And now the new year can become fully new. And if you don't want to repeat these patterns, you don't want to leave this as inspiration, and you want to turn it into practice, I just posted my January Marriage, War, and Peace blog, How to Stop, Drop, and Roll with Resentment. So go ahead and read it. The link will be in the comments.